Plataforma de información musical y radio online. Rutas Alternas. Escucha.
En el descubrimiento de música que tenemos en nuestro quehacer profesional día a día, hemos tenido el gusto de descubrir la propuesta sonora de Tseen, y para charlar al respecto de esta nueva adquisición de la discográfica Sub Pop, tenemos el enorme gusto de conversar vía teleconferencia con Nicholas Galanin. Hola, Nicholas.
Hola.
How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Where are you right now?
I'm home in Sitka, Alaska.
Oh, how's the weather?
It's beautiful. I'm actually outside. I was just on a trail hiking. So.
Yes, it looks amazing. I know it's a very cold place, but today looks amazing.
Yes.
So, Nicholas, what can you tell us about your work in music with Tseen? Am I saying correctly the name? Tseen?
Yeah, Tseen. Yeah. This is a project that's been in the making for 3 years. It's I got my little one here too, actually. So. 3 years, and I'm just excited to have this ready to share. You know, a lot of collaborations, a lot of incredible artists are part of this project. I feel like it's been, in this time, we recorded maybe 40 or more songs and distilled it down to this record. So it's I think it's a good group of songs.
I know that's a lot of songs. How long took you to make all the process of the album?
3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
It's a lot of time nowadays, right?
I think so, yeah. You know, I haven't been traveling so much, so I work on all of these things every day, and I don't mind that. It's good to be home. It's good to be home with my family.
Nicholas, you make all your records in Alaska?
Yeah, a lot of it was made here. You know, some of the collaborations happened in different studios. There's some artists in New York that recorded, artists in Seattle, Portland, Oregon. We mixed it in LA and in Texas, and then so yeah, it's bits and pieces in different locations, but primarily here.
How important is for you your work as a multidisciplinary artist to make your music? Because you work in a lot of arts, you have several work, but in music, how important is to do other things in arts?
You know, it's all part of the same process for me creatively in certain ways. So it's all connected. You know, the viewer and the others try to separate and categorize creative work, but for me, it all comes from the same place. You know, so it's really important to be able to do all of these things and not to force anything out. You know, like if I don't feel like, if I show up in the music studio one day and I don't feel like anything's happening, I can leave and that's okay. You know, I can go to a visual art project. I can go do other things that feel necessary. So and the other way around, same.
Do you have a technique to make a piece in any art? I mean, do you have a process? Do you determine how long will it take, or it's as you said, it's only come and go?
It depends. It varies. Some of the work I do, I work in communities, or I work on land, and or I work within an institutional space. If I'm doing that type of work, the process will be visiting with those communities and research, understanding and meeting and connecting to that place ways. So yeah, and I feel like music, the process, a lot of this stuff is just listening and learning to listen, not only to other artists and work, but to listen to, you know, yourself and how you process things, or experience things. And for me, that's a big part of all my creative process. So
yes. Nicholas, how important is for you Alaska as a place, as a community, to your music, to your art?
Place for me is, really important. The land is a really deep connection to the place, the land and ocean. We hunt and fish and survive that way. It's how we feed our family here.
Yes.
So that connection's really vital to everything, to where I come from, to where my grandchildren in the future will be, all of those things. So I think that understanding is really translates to some of these things sometimes, sonically, lyrically, those experiences.
Because I read that this is very important for you, Alaska, not only the landscape, but as you said, your cultural heritage, your community. It's part of the United States, but it's a very different place from other cities in the United States, right?
Oh yeah, it definitely is. This is, we're not continental United States. We're not connected, and Alaska was. Only became a part of the United States 150 years ago, I think, somewhere around there. So the purchase of the land from Russia, which, excluded our communities. So we're still fighting for sovereignty in areas and fighting for land rights and subsistence hunting rights. And but yeah.
Yes, because sometimes we miss that perspective, that it's very important for a lot of communities to share their art with the world, and not only because of the country, but exactly for the communities. Your own hometown have a lot of things to say.
Yeah, and it's for me, it's a voice, access to a voice coming from a community where we're often silenced or erased or ignored. So to create is a form of power, in a sense, sovereign power for communicating things that are often intentionally overlooked by mainstream societies or government.
So Nicholas, you will release Indian Yard, the new album of Tseen, on April 30, right?
Yes.
How was working with Sub Pop?
Amazing. A dream. I grew up listening to Nirvana and these other artists from Sub Pop, so to have that history and participate in it creatively now is really special to me. So, and to the other band members as well.
I know that for a musician, it's still important to have a label, but an independent label, right? With a lot of creative freedom, access to the music industry, but respecting your art, respecting your thoughts.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, we got some dog on his way here.
I think it's very cool that you are outside because you can share a little with us about your community.
Yeah, for sure.
Nicholas, are you gonna release your album in physical formats or only on digital?
There's some vinyl, which I'm really excited about. There's a deluxe vinyl book.
Cool.
It's gonna, I did all of the visual artwork for it to accompany each song, and then my partner Merritt Johnson designed it was kind of a collaborative process of designing the cover art with also with a designer friend, Gregory Smith out of Seattle. And I think, yeah, just the art in general on this project is really special. I think we put a lot of time and care and thought into it, and I think it was just aligns well with the music, and
Cool. So we're going to have this album on April 30 through Sub Pop, Indian Yard, the new album of Tseen. And what will you going to do this 2021? Are you planning to go on tour later this year, or what's your plan?
I'm not sure. I don't know if they're open up for touring yet. You know, I would love to play some shows if we can get around to that. You know, some of my band members, one of them's in Phoenix, Arizona. I've got one in town, and then a lot of our collaborators are in Seattle and stuff. So we'd all have to come together, and I think we're going to try to work on that right now still. But until then, I'm just working on new projects, new visual art. We started recording the new record already, so that's exciting. Just kind of keeping it moving.
Absolutely. And Nicholas, where can we find your visual art? I would like to give us a website or somewhere to find it.
Yeah, you can go to my personal website, which is galan.in, or you can just Google Nicholas Galanin, and there'll be probably some images there and stuff. So
yes, you have a great visual art. I love it.
Thank you. Yeah. And I have a gallery in New York that I work with, Peter Bloom Gallery.
Ah, cool.
So that's also a space to go if you want to see some of the work. Yeah.
Well, I hope, Nicholas, that you can come to Mexico to play live with your band, but also to make an exhibition of your visual art.
Yes, I have to. I'd love to. It'd be good.
Actually, you can travel from Alaska to Seattle to Arizona and then to Mexico.
Okay, we can
all the way down.
Yes.
Well, Nicholas, looking forward to listen Indian Yard this April 30, and looking forward to see you here in Mexico.
Yes, thank you so much. Gracias.
Nicholas Galanin, thank you so much for this chat with Rutas Alternas. Plataforma de información musical y radio online. Rutas Alternas. Escucha.